Respect is one of the few things money cannot buy, talent cannot guarantee, and kindness alone cannot keep. That may sound surprising because most people grow up believing that if they are polite, helpful, patient, and understanding, respect will naturally follow. Yet everyday life tells a very different story. The person who always agrees is often ignored. The one who never says no is asked for more and appreciated less. The person who keeps sacrificing their own needs is rarely admired for it. Instead, many people slowly begin treating them as if their time, energy, and feelings matter less. This doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen because there is something wrong with their personality. It happens because human beings constantly read silent signals. Every conversation, every decision, every reaction, and every boundary sends a message about how you expect to be treated. Long before people judge your words, they judge your behavior. Long before they believe what you say about yourself, they believe what your actions quietly reveal. That is one of the least understood truths about human psychology. Respect is rarely given because someone asks for it. It is usually earned because someone consistently behaves in a way that naturally invites it. The fascinating part is that these behaviors are often small, almost invisible, yet they completely change the way other people respond. Many individuals spend years trying to become more likable without realizing that being liked and being respected are not the same thing. Someone may enjoy your company and still ignore your opinions. They may smile at you and still take advantage of your generosity. They may appreciate everything you do, while never truly valuing who you are. The difference lies in the signals you send every single day without even noticing. Psychology has shown that people quickly form lasting impressions based on confidence, consistency, emotional control, and personal boundaries. Once those impressions are formed, they influence almost every future interaction. That means respect is not built during one powerful conversation. It is built through hundreds of ordinary moments that most people overlook. The good news is that this pattern can change much faster than you might expect. Small adjustments in the way you respond, speak, and carry yourself can completely transform how others see you. Throughout this video, you will discover 4 powerful behaviors that quietly reshape people's perception of you without manipulation, aggression, or pretending to be someone you are not. These are not tricks designed to control people. They are timeless principles rooted in human behavior and supported by psychology. Each one reveals why certain individuals naturally command respect the moment they walk into a room, while others struggle to be taken seriously, despite working twice as hard. More importantly, you will learn why many common habits that seem kind or humble are actually sending the opposite message from the one you intend. As we move through these 4 behaviors, each lesson builds on the previous one, leading to a deeper understanding of why respect begins long before anyone speaks your name. The final behavior is perhaps the most powerful because it ties everything together and explains why some people permanently change the way others treat them, while most remain stuck, repeating the same frustrating patterns year after year. Missing that final lesson means missing the piece that makes all the others work. By the end of this video, you will start recognizing silent behaviors that may have been shaping your relationships without your awareness. And you'll understand how small changes can create lasting results in your personal life, your career, and every interaction you have. If you're ready to stop chasing respect and start becoming the person who naturally earns it, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy thoughtful insights into psychology, human behavior, and practical ways to build confidence and influence, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community, because every video is designed to help you understand people a little better while becoming the strongest version of yourself. Respect rarely disappears because of one dramatic mistake. Most of the time, it fades so slowly that people don't even notice it happening. One day someone interrupts you without apologizing. Another day they cancel your plans at the last minute because they assume you will understand. Then they begin asking for bigger favors while giving very little in return. Eventually, they stop considering your opinions before making decisions that affect you. Looking back, it feels as if respect vanished overnight, but the truth is that it was slowly worn away through dozens of small moments. Human relationships work like patterns rather than isolated events. People pay close attention to what happens repeatedly. If a behavior is accepted once, they may see it as an exception. If it is accepted again and again, they begin seeing it as the new normal. This is why respect is rarely about one conversation. It is about the message your daily actions quietly communicate. Every reaction teaches people what you will tolerate. Every decision tells them how seriously you take yourself. Every time you ignore your own needs to keep someone else comfortable, you send a signal that your boundaries are flexible. Most people are not doing this with bad intentions. In fact, many of them are completely unaware of it. Human beings naturally explore limits in every relationship. It is part of normal social behavior. A coworker asks if you can stay late one evening. A friend borrows money and delays paying it back. A family member expects you to solve every problem because you always have before. At first, these situations seem small, yet each one becomes a quiet test. The question is never spoken aloud, but it is always there. How far can this person be pushed before they push back? If the answer is always the same, people slowly adjust their expectations. They stop asking whether you are available because they assume you always will be. They stop respecting your time because you rarely protect it yourself. This doesn't mean everyone is trying to use you. It simply means people adapt to the standards you consistently set. Your behavior becomes their guidebook. Confidence also plays a bigger role than most people realize. When people interact with you, they are constantly observing how certain you seem about your own choices. Someone who speaks with quiet confidence creates a very different impression from someone who constantly seeks approval. Even when the words are almost identical, the emotional message behind them changes everything. Confidence tells others that you trust your own judgment. Uncertainty tells them that you need their permission before trusting yourself. Consistency is another quality people notice almost immediately. Someone who changes their opinions every time another person disagrees appears unreliable. Someone who keeps changing their boundaries depending on who they are talking to creates confusion. Respect grows when people know what to expect from you. It becomes difficult to admire someone whose principles change to satisfy whoever is standing in front of them. Emotional stability matters just as much. Life is full of stressful situations, disagreements, and disappointments. Everyone experiences them. The difference is in the response. A person who stays calm during pressure appears far stronger than someone who loses control over every small inconvenience. Emotional control creates a feeling of reliability. Others begin believing that this person can be trusted because they remain steady when circumstances become difficult. This is one reason respect often follows emotional discipline. It is not about hiding feelings. It is about managing them wisely. The important lesson is simple but powerful. You teach people how to treat you, not through speeches, not through demands, through repeated behavior. Every action becomes a lesson. Every compromise becomes a message. Every ignored boundary becomes permission. Many people spend years wishing others would change, without realizing they are reinforcing the very behavior they dislike. Once you understand this, you stop focusing only on changing other people. You begin changing the signals you send instead. One of the clearest examples of this is the habit of over-explaining. It seems harmless at first. Many people believe giving long explanations makes them appear polite, reasonable, and considerate. In reality, it often creates the opposite impression. Think about how often someone says they cannot attend an event and then immediately begins listing every detail behind the decision. They explain their schedule, apologize several times, offer extra reasons, and continue talking long after the decision has already been made. The words may sound respectful, but beneath them is an unspoken message. It suggests that the person feels uncomfortable simply making a choice. Instead of trusting their own decision, they feel responsible for convincing everyone else that the decision is acceptable. Confident people usually communicate differently. They explain when information is useful, not because they are afraid of being judged. There is a significant difference between informing someone and defending yourself. Informing is clear, brief, and respectful. Defending yourself often sounds nervous and endless. One shares information, the other seeks permission. Psychology shows that people often associate unnecessary explanations with uncertainty. When someone keeps adding reasons, listeners sometimes begin searching for weaknesses in those reasons. Ironically, the more someone tries to justify themselves, the more questions they invite. It becomes a cycle. One explanation leads to another until the original decision loses its strength. This does not mean you should become rude or secretive. It means recognizing when enough has already been said. If you decide not to attend a gathering, saying you won't be able to make it is often enough. If you decide not to accept extra work, politely declining can be enough. Every decision does not require a courtroom defense. Your life is not a debate that must be won through endless evidence. People who respect themselves understand this. They know their choices deserve space without constant justification. They trust that not everyone will agree, and they remain comfortable with that reality. Silence can sometimes communicate confidence more effectively than another 5 minutes of explanation. After stating your decision clearly and respectfully, allowing a pause often feels uncomfortable at first. Many people rush to fill that silence because they mistake discomfort for failure. Yet those quiet moments often communicate certainty. They show that your decision has already been made. It is not waiting for approval. Over time, others begin accepting your words more quickly because they realize there is nothing to negotiate. Your confidence quietly shapes their expectations. Another behavior that transforms respect is learning to make your no actually mean no. This sounds simple, yet it is one of the hardest skills for many people to develop. From childhood, many are taught that saying no is selfish, unkind, or disrespectful. As adults, this belief follows them into every relationship. They agree to invitations they don't want to attend. They accept responsibilities they don't have time for. They solve problems that were never theirs to fix. At first, everyone appreciates their willingness to help. But gradually something unexpected happens. Their kindness becomes expected instead of appreciated. The favors become obligations. The extra effort becomes the minimum standard. The person who always says yes begins feeling exhausted while receiving less gratitude than ever before. This happens because people naturally adjust to repeated behavior. If someone always accepts more work, others stop asking whether they are available. They simply assume they are. If someone always changes their schedule to fit everyone else's plans, people stop valuing the sacrifice because it has become normal. Boundaries only exist when they are consistently protected. A boundary that disappears under pressure is no longer a boundary. It becomes a suggestion. This is why people unconsciously test limits. They are learning what is possible inside the relationship. Every time the limit moves, they adjust their behavior accordingly. Avoiding conflict may feel peaceful in the moment, but it often creates bigger problems later. Resentment grows quietly when someone repeatedly says yes against their own wishes. Eventually, frustration appears, sometimes over something very small, because months or even years of ignored feelings have been building beneath the surface. Healthy relationships are not built on endless agreement. They are built on honesty. Saying no respectfully is one of the clearest forms of honesty. It tells others where your limits are before resentment has the chance to grow. A calm no spoken with confidence carries far more force than a reluctant yes filled with regret. People may not always like hearing it, but over time they understand that your words are reliable. When you agree, they know you genuinely mean it. When you decline, they know the decision is final without anger or guilt. That consistency creates trust, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of lasting respect. Pause for a moment and look at your own relationships from a different angle. The real question may not be whether people respect you. The deeper question is whether your daily behavior has been quietly teaching people to ignore your limits. This is not an easy thought because most people naturally focus on what others are doing wrong. They notice the interruptions, the broken promises, the lack of appreciation, and the moments when they feel overlooked. Those experiences are real, but they are only one side of the story. The other side is often hidden inside small habits that seem harmless. Every time you accept treatment that makes you uncomfortable without saying anything. Every time you apologize for having reasonable boundaries. Every time you put your own needs last simply to avoid disappointing someone. You are sending a message that becomes stronger with repetition. That message tells people they do not need to take your limits seriously because you rarely do. Respect begins long before another person decides how to treat you. It begins with the standards you set for yourself. Self-respect is not arrogance, pride, or believing you are better than everyone else. It is the quiet belief that your time matters, your energy matters, your values matter, and your peace of mind deserves protection. People who respect themselves do not constantly search for permission to make healthy choices. They understand that not everyone will agree with them, and they accept that reality without feeling guilty. This inner attitude changes countless small behaviors that others notice immediately. The way you answer questions changes. The way you handle disagreement changes. The way you respond to pressure changes. Without saying a single word about confidence, you begin showing it through your actions. That is why respect usually starts from the inside before it becomes visible on the outside. Others often recognize your self-respect only after you have practiced it consistently for a long time. The change may not happen overnight, but it always begins with the way you see yourself, rather than the way others see you. One of the clearest signs of self-respect is emotional control. Many people believe strength means winning every argument, proving every point, or speaking louder than everyone else. Real strength often looks much quieter. It appears in the person who remains calm while everyone around them becomes emotional. It appears in the individual who refuses to let anger make decisions for them. Emotional control is one of the strongest forms of social power because it prevents other people from controlling your reactions. Think about how arguments usually develop. One person becomes frustrated and raises their voice. The other person responds with even more emotion. Within minutes, neither person is solving the original problem anymore. The conversation becomes a competition over who can express stronger emotions. In moments like these, logic disappears, listening disappears, respect disappears. The louder the emotions become, the less productive the discussion becomes. This is exactly why emotional reactions often give control away. Once someone can predict your emotional response, they also gain the ability to influence your behavior. If they know a certain comment will make you angry every time, they can use that knowledge whenever they choose. If they know criticism immediately makes you defensive, they understand how to pull you into an argument before any real discussion begins. Emotional control breaks that pattern. It creates uncertainty for the other person, because they no longer control your reactions. Instead of responding automatically, you respond intentionally. There is a huge difference between the two. Responding automatically means your emotions decide what happens next. Responding intentionally means your values decide what happens next. People naturally associate calmness with confidence, because calm behavior suggests inner security. Someone who trusts themselves usually feels less pressure to prove themselves during every disagreement. They listen more carefully, because they are not constantly preparing a defense. They speak more slowly, because they are not afraid of silence. They choose their words more carefully, because they understand that every sentence carries weight. This does not mean calm people never feel angry, disappointed, or frustrated. They experience those emotions just like everyone else. The difference is that they refuse to let temporary feelings control permanent decisions. They create a small space between emotion and action, and inside that space they choose the response that best serves their long-term goals. This ability creates authority in ways that many people fail to notice. During stressful situations, others naturally begin looking toward the person who appears steady. Calmness creates reassurance. It suggests that someone can think clearly even under pressure. That quality inspires trust because people feel safer following someone who remains composed instead of someone who reacts impulsively. The strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest one. True strength often belongs to the person who can absorb pressure without allowing it to change their character. Their confidence does not depend on winning every conversation. Their self-worth does not rise and fall with every opinion they hear. Because of this stability, they become much harder to manipulate. Their emotions belong to them rather than to the people around them. Respect is never won through arguments, endless explanations, or trying to please everyone around you. It cannot be demanded, begged for, or forced into existence. Real respect grows quietly through the choices you make every single day. It is built when you protect your boundaries instead of abandoning them. It grows when you stay calm instead of reacting emotionally. It becomes stronger when your actions consistently match your words. And it lasts when you stop seeking approval and start living according to your own values. These may seem like small changes, but over time they completely reshape the way people see you. The truth is, people are always paying attention. They notice how you respond under pressure. They notice what you accept, what you reject, and what you repeatedly allow. They are not judging you only by what you say. They are learning from the standards you set through your behavior. Every decision becomes a message, and every repeated action teaches others how to treat you. The most powerful shift happens the moment you stop asking, "How can I make people respect me?" and start asking, "What kind of behavior am I practicing every day?" That single question can change your relationships, your confidence, and even the direction of your life. So before you move on with your day, choose just one of these 4 behaviors and begin using it immediately. You don't have to change everything at once. One small change, repeated consistently, can create results that surprise you. Weeks from now, you may notice conversations feel different. People may listen more carefully, value your time more, and think twice before crossing your boundaries. Not because you demanded respect, but because your behavior quietly earned it. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 behaviors do you think will make the biggest difference in your life? Let us know in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else who is on the same journey. If you enjoyed this video and want more powerful insights into psychology, human behavior, confidence, and self-improvement, Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. And if you found this helpful, please take a second to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Thanks for watching. And remember this one final thought. The day you start respecting yourself through your actions is the day the world slowly begins to do the same. We'll see you in the next video.